Greetings all ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to present the project on topic the effect of application-based education on teens' attitude toward alcohol in the rural area of Thailand. Alcohol consumption has long been a significant issue in Thailand, leading to some problems such as financial loss, health deterioration, traffic accidents, and family abuse. So nowadays, 1413 Thai Alcohol Reliance Center developed an innovative counseling tool called Nong Tang Chai Chatbot. So this chatbot is a tool for alcoholic drinkers via line chat platform. It was provide a chat-based format for user self-evaluation. So users should send some text message which has the following details. Firstly, user the register personal information, and secondly, this chatbot will assess user risk and feedback how to deal with this risk on YouTube videos. Thirdly, it can record users' alcohol weekly intake, and the last, it can guide the appropriate way to consume alcohol. So, in objective of this study is to find the answer whether using chatbot can influence teenager attitude toward alcohol drinking behavior. Methodology of this study, we using quasi-experimental studies. Inclusion criteria is student whose age is 12 to 17 years old, excluding those with outline application and smartphone. Students were divided into control group and intervention group. Before the activity start, both groups had take pre-test questionnaire. During the activity session, control group attend lecture based, while intervention group attend use chatbot. After the activity end, both groups had take post-test questionnaire. In characteristic of questionnaire, it consists of 10 questions with 5-point Likert scale, which were used to measure the attitude toward alcoholic drinking behaviors. Each of the answers will translate into an attitude score. Outcome measurement of this study is the difference between pre-test and post-test score. If the difference score less than zero indicating that user believing more negative about alcoholic drinking behavior outcome, which lead to users more disfavor in alcohol drinking. But if the difference score is more than zero, it indicating that people believing more positive about alcoholic drinking behavior outcomes, which leads to people more favor in alcohol drinking. In result and discussion of this study, firstly, in demographic data, we found that high school student group who had alcohol drinking experience were less than middle school student group. Secondly, in score test data result, it found that high school students of intervention group had more increased anti-alcoholic attitude when compared to the high school student control group. Thirdly, when I use my result study compared to the other study that I read, it found that in first study conducted systematic review, which using digital assessment in university student and secondary school student. First study result found that digital assessment were effective only in university students. So when I compare to my study result, this suggesting that Nong Tang Chai chatbot can have more effective than this digital assessment because Nong Tang Chai chatbot can increase anti-alcoholic attitude among high school student group. In second compare study, this study is using online quiz competition is conducted in middle school students. Duration of this study is take about 3 months. The result found that middle school students can increase anti-alcoholic attitude after receiving this intervention. So back to my study, I will tell you that because the duration of using chatbot in activity session is about 1 hour. So a longer intervention period may be necessary for middle school students to see more clear results. Limitation of this study in because we conduct study during school break period, leading to limit student selection. As a result, few of students who had alcohol drinking experience attend to these studies. Further direction that I recommend. Firstly, the study should more focus on teenagers with alcohol drinking experience in order to get better results. Secondly, the long-term evaluation should be conducted in this study to build stronger evidence for chatbot effectiveness. In conclusion, the น้องตั้งใจ chatbot successfully increased anti-alcoholic attitudes among high school students, indicating its potential as an effective tool for addressing teenager alcohol consumption in Thailand. Thank you for your attention. If you had any question, don't hesitate to ask me after this presentation.
Are there any questions from our judges?
Thank you. Very nice presentation. Congratulations. Did you take into account social desirability in your study? Because I believe that for those who did the survey and then you have control and intervention group, both group actually did the survey, but for the intervention group, so if you keep telling them about not drinking alcohol, so and so, I think after an hour, I would say, no, I will not drink the alcohol. Like, how do you link the answer to the actual practice? Like, even though I said, well, after an hour, I will not drink alcohol, but, after I go out, I might drink alcohol because, you keep telling me not to drink alcohol for an hour, and then I did the survey. You know what I mean?
I understand. In first question about social demographic data, I had conduct it. So, but I didn't show in this poster because both group characteristic in social demographic data hasn't significantly difference in both group. And in second question that you asked me about how do you sure about if attitude of teenagers will increase anti-alcoholic? How do you accept that teenagers will take behavioral change? According to from the conduct of this study, I read a theory of pan behavior whose conduct by Essen. This theory of pan behavior it defines that attitude can affect the most important role in behavioral intention to develop some behavioral change. Because attitude is definition that is psychological tendency to evaluate behavioral outcomes in degree of favor or disfavor by oneself, not from other opinions. So therefore, I used to measure attitude because it is easiest to measure. Due to theory of pan behavior, it says that behavioral intention have three determinant factors to induce causing behavioral intention. First is attitude, second is subjective norm, and the third is perceived behavioral control. So I think that a subjective norm and perceived behavioral control can hardly to access during this study because it requires others' opinion to affect teenagers. And so I think to measuring attitude is the best way to measure in this study because attitude is about opinion of oneself about this behavior.
Okay.
I would like to ask you how what kind of concept or theory that you use for deciding the chatbot, the application. How you decide the application?
This
in terms of theory.
This chatbot design application by this chatbot can the concept is that it takes risk assessment and feedback of drinker alcoholic behaviors. So after drinker alcoholic behavior see their feedback in this chatbot, they will change in their behavioral opinions that some behavior that users do is bad or some behavior that users do is good. So it will change their attitude.
Okay, thank you.